Hey everybody, this is Michael. So, I got a quote from Carl Jung today, and this one is a good one. I do believe it is it encapsulates a lot of what's going on today. So, anyway, let's go right to it. Carl Jung once said, "Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism." Yeah, so that especially that last one, because obviously the first two, morphine, alcohol, that's pretty prevalent, or in society and the problems, and it's not, at any way a hidden epidemic, I guess you say, or a hidden problem. People know, if you take a lot of morphine when you're not supposed to, it's bad. If you're drinking, you know, more than just the one or two, that you may have at dinner or when you go out, and it's a regular habit, it's bad. But idealism also fits into that because you never want to be attached so passionately and blindly to something, and that's what you kind of see. I mean, like the word idealist has almost become a dirty word now because of the fanatics who push their idealism upon someone else. Because let's remember, the Nazi Party started as an idyllic, form. This was the ideal society to live in, and they pushed their agendas and their beliefs onto other people, and that's where things really went askew because they were so passionate, they were addicted to their idealism so hard, they were willing to kill and die for it, and that's not good. I mean, so we gotta just realize when we may have a problem, because if you're out there protesting and being activists every day, well, that's cool. Do you may have a problem? I mean, like, when are you being anything but an activist? Because if you're an activist all the time, I mean, that's exhausting. Because then you can't be, if I was an activist, I wouldn't be able to come home and be a husband. I wouldn't be able to go and be, a son, to my parents, and I wouldn't be able to be an employee because I'm so busy fighting the good fight. And when you become addicted to a particular ideal or perspective or view, it's real easy to kind of go down the rabbit hole and be blinded by it, and then you kind of entrench yourself with all these other activists, and then you create a giant echo chamber, where people just don't, you know, aren't able to like challenge each other and critique. It's like, oh, we know this is bad, yeah, and then then you have 100 other voices saying, oh yeah, it is bad, and it's like, okay, well, what's bad about it? And like that's just a fair conversation you should always have. You should always question everything. Why, what, how, when. I mean, like every bit of everything you should question. Question yourself, but at the same time, don't. Philosophy can be an addiction as well, and I've definitely fallen into that trap and literally spending hours of thinking, oh, what is the meaning of life? And while you're pondering the meaning of life, you're letting life slip by because you start pondering meaning of life at 20, and then 50 years old, you're like, wow, I've spent like 30 years, pondering a question that may not even be relevant to my life. That's a good thing. Like, ask yourself, is this ideal? Is this, stance, view, perspective, is this helping me? Is this good? Because you may just be addicted to it, like many of us are addicted to social media or anything like that. And so we always have to challenge ourselves and challenge the world around us. And just because you challenge something doesn't mean you're against it. You're being negative or toxic or anything. It's just simply showing that you are critical thinking. That's it, and that's always a good thing to be. But like he says, addiction in any form is bad. Or and if you spend your whole time answering what is trying to answer what is the meaning of life, kind of step back, and before you focus on that question, ask yourself, if I actually knew the answer to this question, will my life improve, or will it improve the lives of others around me? If you can't say yes definitively, like, then it may not be a question you should be asking. That's just kind of what it is, because you gotta, because we want to help our fellow man and humans and women and just every other demographic. We want to help them. I believe that humans when allowed, they are altruistic. Yes, there are bad apples, yeah, and there's, you got like the Ted Bundys who are just, nature said no to, but humans said yes to. That's a great line by Bill Burr. It was referencing to his dog, but still, I think applies to people along the whole spectrum, and just be careful of any kind of ideology you attach yourself to, and of course, like I'm pretty sure I'm addicted to coffee. That's just one thing, an addiction I may have, and how do you always have to question yourself, and why is it? Because I literally just realized I've had a cup of coffee every day for like a long time. No, I'm pretty sure my stomach's not happy about it too. Who knows? Um, as because caffeine is socially acceptable addiction. And that's why I don't want to go to Starbucks right now, but I just that is why you see coffee shops popping up all over the place, and that's why if you hear about, oh, but this is my third cappuccino or whatever, I just do straight coffee, a little bit of creamer, that's it, that's all I need. But you hear and so people would develop these addictions and go to the coffee shops, these Starbucks, and how much money have you given them just to feed your addiction, but it's socially acceptable. That's because no one at any point in time has said, is this bad? Are you possibly addicted? You got to, because any kind of addiction is bad, like Carl Jung said. If you go to the gym too often and you work yourself out to like 0% body fat, there will be repercussions. Your body needs some fat on it, and that's okay. And oh my God, I just said something that may be socially unacceptable, but unacceptable. But I mean, it's the principle, of the like, you can be addicted to anything, and almost all addictions all are bad. You have to have moderation. You have to be able to, kind of challenge yourself and be like, what, maybe I am personally, maybe I am addicted to coffee. So you know what, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and do a few days without coffee. Maybe I'll switch to tea. Just find alternatives, and or walk a mile in someone else's shoes. So like if you are, pro-life, whatever, try talking to someone who's pro-choice. I think those are different. I don't know. And or if you believe that communism, is the way to go, maybe kind of take a look at communism and like the failings of it, and then compare them to the failings of capitalism, and see where that goes. But yeah, so I feel like I've talked enough about this, so we'll close on the quote as always. Carl Jung: every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. So, all right, guys. Well, that is it for this one. Maybe I'll upload another one. I don't know. I have a couple job interviews to go to today, so wish me luck. And always best of luck to you guys. I hope everything's good, going well, and take it easy. All right. Happy weekend, by the way. If you're watching this, it's Friday. This is Friday. Anyway, take it easy.